Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Clothing Up Unfiltered Mornings with Marma J. It is Tuesday morning, August 13th. So, starting with Meteor wallet, I've been harvesting away. I have 5 moon tokens. Actually, good morning, Batale. I was talking to Ernest this week on X. Glad the sound is good. And I saw a post of his saying he has all these relics. And I got a little bit not jealous. I think it's awesome. But I have 0 relics of myself. So relic boosters is at 0, and I think today I might just buy a relic for fun. I was thinking about it. It's a pretty interesting way of supporting the community. So why not? I'll just start with that because you guys have seen me claim, and I think I have a few contracts to open. Okay, I have 1 advanced and 2 basic, so I'll open those real quick. Recruit. Let's start with the basic. So what I've realized is that you can still recruit even if you're you're full. All your spots are full for hiring these kind of workers. So I got an intern, but they just won't be used. So 0 out of 17 interns were hired. Sorry, interns. Yeah, no worries, Kwame. You're late, but so are we. We had some technical difficulties starting the stream. And so you are actually perfectly on time. You didn't miss much. There's some new missions apparently as well. So hopefully it's not just. I hate when you get a notification that you're excited for, and you go check the notification. And it's not really a real notification. That's the opposite of when you think you forget you have snacks and you realize you have snacks somewhere. Opposite feelings. So hopefully it's a real notification for something and something fun. But now I can also recruit our nice little advanced, and hopefully we get something good. I think advanced contracts can give you geniuses. Yes, they can. So now I'm using 2 geniuses. I had 1 before. GM Roos, glad to have you on the stream. So now I'm using 2 geniuses and only 9 researchers. We fired one of our researchers. Sorry. Hopefully we can expand our lab and get people on board soon. Metapool is here in the house. Glad to have you here, Metapool. We'll actually be doing a lot of discussions over Metapool today. Usually we kind of go back and forth talking about Metapool, Ref.finance, Minsta, and a few other projects on Near. But grant round 8 just kicked off, and there's some improvement proposals, Metapool improvement proposals out, which I'm actually really excited for. Both of them are one of them I've been anticipating for a while, so looking forward to commenting there. And another one actually I didn't even realize needed to be a thing, didn't need to be a proposal until actually last grant round 7. I was actually advising a project. Actually, people here probably remember for Near Antigua. And in the last, we went to bed assuming we would get the grant, and woke up the next morning and the entire results had changed. There was some last minute voting, which again, not a big deal. The best part about on-chain governance and interactions is that everything's kind of laid out, in the smart contract, the way it's going to be. But the other best part is that we have governance, and the community can engage and communicate and vote to make changes and upgrade these things. And I got a genius, so I'm excited. For my upgrades, I think I still have to wait a while. 50 moon tokens. So I think we're not going to be hiring any new workers anytime soon. I will try my best. I'm not sure in the terms of service you're allowed to have a bot just do it for you. I think the only way I'd be able to actually, even for the hot like Telegram wallet, for Here wallet, the only way I'd actually be able to do this seriously is I've had a script just running it. I haven't done that because I feel like maybe it's cheating. Like, I don't care that much. It's just a fun game I play, and I do it at least once a week here on the stream. But I try and do it throughout the week so that I can share more on the stream about what's happening. But hopefully you guys that are watching are, harvesting more often than me potentially, and upgrading, and if you guys have like screenshots of cooler upgrades, please share them in the Telegram. It might show up on the wrong screen here. Oh, perfect. So I'll drop the link for the Telegram channel. We usually use the Marma J research thread in the Marma J channel on Telegram. So please feel free to drop any screenshots there. Give me some feedback about what I should be doing. If you have gear, you can get relics. I have no relics. Ooh, there's a new challenge. Can I start it? Oh, I did it. Oh, because my lab got upgraded. So I did that this week. And so now I can claim the next mission. So it is a real reminder about the upgrade. Okay, so I finished it. So I got a contract, right? I think. Ooh, I think this is my first expert contract, maybe. Very exciting. I hope I get like something really rare. Let's see. I want to hire like a CEO or something. I don't know what the highest one is. A big brain. Okay, another genius. Pretty good. Sorry again, we fired another researcher. So now we have 3 geniuses, 1 brain, 4 scientists. And yeah, hopefully we can upgrade the lab soon. I think before the lab comes like the storage, which is probably good for me because I don't claim every 8 hours. So moving on to discuss Metapool. So we've been talking about Metapool for, months now. So if anyone has any questions about what Metapool is or how to engage, obviously ask them here in the chat. I know we've been talking about, so the funniest flow into Metapool that I'll use is we'll do some gachaponing. But before I get into the Metapooling, and I'll drop the link here again for those that want to engage. But because we're going to be talking about Metapool for a lot longer today, we might as well flow into it through the other things. So we're going to do some gachaponing from Delta Trade. And anyways, we're going to go through a whole fun little flow. So on gachapon, on Delta Trade, automated trading, on Near, using Ref.finance, you can set. They have new strategy, so you can do swing trades. I set these. I'm not sure if any trades were made on these. One sell was made. Marma J doesn't move that much, so honestly, probably wasn't the best pair to test them on. But apparently, swing trades are working. DCA I couldn't get to work, so dollar cost averaging. So in my opinion, this is like what I'm most excited for. Just the ability to, let's say you have some ST Near that you got from your Metapool voting rewards. You voted in Metapool, your MP DAO voting power. You got some ST Near at the end of the month. It would be really cool if they had some more pairs that were ST Near to other tokens, so that as your DCA, I'm going to say DCAing, that just easier to mouthful, as you're DCAing into whatever token you want, you're actually earning the validated rewards, every 12 hours. So instead of, so currently, if you, just a quick, I won't go too much into this. I went through this last week and other weeks as well. But if you wanted to create a DCA strategy, you would normally say, okay, I want to buy a certain amount of tokens over a certain frequency. So maybe you wanted to buy some MPDAO tokens, right? There was a pool with, I hope it's ST Near to MPDAO, not Near, even though, anyways, I hope there's actually multiple pools. That would make probably the most sense. I'm not going to go there right now. We'll go through that later in the proposal. But still, you'd say I want to buy, every 24 hours or 1 day or so half a day. Start whatever you want. Either way, you have to put a certain amount of tokens in. So right now I'm putting in USDC, and so stablecoins are great. The market can be volatile, and not everyone wants to deal with that volatility. And so maybe you just want to, you have a lot of Near, and you want to just make sure you're selling a little bit of Near every week. So you're like, as long as Near is above $5, you can set minimums, right? Here on, you can set minimums. So as long as Near is above $5 or between 5 and 9 or whatever, but usually you might say, okay, Near is above 5 because maybe you earned your Near below 5. So as long as Near is above 5, every 12 hours, sell 100 Near, right? And so, at the end of a year, you might be able to look back and be like, wow, look, I have a bunch of stable coins sitting here for me, and I was selling that Near. But that Near that was being sold is kind of losing at the rate of near inflation, right? The validated rewards are coming out around 10% a year, whatever. And so you're not earning that. So if instead you had ST Near or another, liquid staking derivative that's being held in this DeFi platform, you'd actually be earning that 10%. So even let's say Near didn't go above $5, say it stayed at 4 most of the time, you'd still be able to look back and say, okay, maybe I didn't get as much stable coins as I wanted, but I earned in relation to Near. So I came out with more Near at the end of the period. So just a small reason why I'm excited about DCA, and hopefully it's working shortly or soon, and I'll show it on the stream. But for this is free. You don't need any tokens to do this. You can log into the platform. Again, when you're trying out a new DeFi platform, so you click that Delta Trade link, it'll say, so again, just security is always fun. So I think this is the logout button, right? So I always find it weird. You need to sign into your wallet to log out. It seems like a security issue. I don't know. It seems weird. Anyway, so you delete your key. Awesome. That's great. So now when I connect my wallet, I use Meteor wallet for the stream. It has good UX. But as you're doing this, you can create a new wallet. So you can go into Meteor wallet, create a new wallet, send point 1 near there, so you can log into things. And I think I need to refresh the page just for it to realize that it's logged in already. There you go. So I am logged in. You can check your dashboard, see how you're doing. This is my longest active vault. I created it in, I think, June. It's still active, and I've earned 0.08 near, I think. So that's I'll show that later. But for Gachapon, different projects put different tokens into this kind of gumball machine, kind of fun token reward game. And to play the game, you pretty much just need to click. I think I have one chance left, or I already did it. I did it last night. So, it's saying 1 chance left, but it looks like it's 0 chances left. So maybe I did this already. But the point was, you can claim these tokens. So, for example, I've claimed some Marma J tokens. I've claimed, 400,000 Black Dragon, NVIDIA. So who knows? Maybe one day we'll get some DAO tokens partnered with Delta Trade, and we can kind of come on the Gachapon and get some of those. But generally, the fund flow, just to make sure we're going through the entire flow of having fun on Near. I don't know why my MetaMask is trying to open. Very exciting. Sorry, I was looking at there's a new bridge. I'll go through it next week maybe. There's a new aggregate bridge on Ref.finance, which is pretty cool because USDC native can get to base from Near pretty easily now. So you can send USDC from Near to base, and generally once you have USDC on base, for people all around the world, it's usually easier, not financial advice, it's usually easier to convert from USDC to fiat if you're on base, just because Coinbase manages base and manages USDC and all that fun stuff, or Circle, whatever, fun stuff. But as we swap, generally, we've been trying to take some of our fun Gachapon tokens and swapping them into Metapool to see if we can, earn a little bit. So I'm going to try and find, I think I earned, I don't know what this is. Fast. Oh, I have some gear. I have a lot of tokens. I don't know what these things are. Let's see. Which one might be enough? Gear. So I earned this gear. So again, you got in the settings of Ref, you got to turn off for some reason this only happens to me, I think, not to everyone else, but I have to turn off the ledger support every time. My UI is just stuck on that, so good learning opportunity. So I can sell my gear for some MPDAO. So MPDAO is now whitelisted. Everyone should be able to swap into it. It's saying, well, it's still loading actually for the amount that I would get. So we've gone through this already, the liquidity pool. So 0.4 MPDAO, yes, I'm loaded. I am 25% of the way. I need two MPDAO to be able to lock up some liquidity. So I'm like 20% of the way there. Let's do it. Approve. So now I'm swapping this gear token. And again, I can go to Delta Trade. I can see I earned 0.16 gear from my Gachaponing. That's the word I use for it. And now I'm going to swap the free tokens I got from Delta Trade. Again, every time I have to do this, I don't know why. And now I have a little bit of NPDAO. I'm not sure what else I have on this one. I know I got some Burr. I got 3 Burr tokens. Okay. I am now over. I don't think I'm over halfway. No, I am over 25% of the way there. now that I have a little bit of, I've sold my, what did I just sell? Honestly, I can't remember. Burr, yes, my Burr tokens. I used to use Burrow a lot when it first came out. Now I don't think I do any lending. I kind of just like holding my ST near, and it'd be really cool to be able to DCA with it. So like hold ST near as like a savings account, and then dollar cost average with Delta Trade into other tokens. So maybe into MPDAO, into stable coins, whatever else. Let's see what else we got from. We have a bunch of bean. I don't think bean's worth anything though. Yeah, okay, that's not like worth the gas fee maybe. Black Dragon, not enough of it. NVIDIA, I don't think it's worth much. Okay, what other? Hat is Hat worth it? Nope, sorry. And we do have some Marma J, obviously. We can just Intel. I always love just seeing how much value. I think Shih Tzu I had from before though. Yeah, I had from before. Let's just do it. Why not? I think I have a Shih Tzu NFT, and so I get a free shout out like once a week or once a day or something like that. So we're just gonna dump our sorry Shih Tzu. We love you, Shih Tzu. We still have the NFT. I think Shih Tzu is one of the coolest meme coins on Near. They got the validator running. They have like they give out more. Again, not financial advice, but I do love the Shih Tzu community and what they do. But I like to simplify my thing, and I really love being able to vote for initiatives, validators, or grants in the Metapool ecosystem. I think there's a lot of improvement to be had, but again, I do appreciate how there's the MPIPs, the Metapool improvement proposals, that then people can use for that. So if I double check Delta Trade, I did not get those Shih Tzu from here, sadly, right? Those are Shih Tzu that I had from another time. And trading that few amounts that low of a quantity amount of value works out. But again, just to clarify so other people can see, on the MPDAO Near pair, again, I'll share the link, the fee is high, 1%, which is fine. I think, there goes Meek again. 1% is reasonable, a bit high, but not really against market norms. And you can see our wonderful trade here. Actually, it's cool. You can look it up as well and see all the trades. But there's $71 of liquidity, or 140, I guess, dollars of liquidity in the pool. So not very much liquidity. The APR last night was 101%. APR now is 157%. The volume is $37. So obviously a lot of bots, a lot of people are trading on the pair. Metapool's awesome. Marcella Brown agreed. But hopefully we see some more liquidity soon so that people are able to actually purchase more or sell, right? I mean, the strength of an economy is not only the ability to buy into it, but also to be able to sell and exit that economy. And so if people, not that people would want to sell. I mean, I lock up for 300 days all my Metapool tokens. So, now that I have more Metapool, I can come to the voting section. I can lock my Metapool, I can go to max, I can go 300 days and get my 140 voting power. But after those 300 days, right, the strength of the trust I can have in the ecosystem is knowing that, okay, I trust this ecosystem so much. I know I can keep buying in because I know I can cash out later. Whether the price goes up or down, we're not talking about financial investing here. We're just talking about like the being able to take value that you have in one spot, whether it's your savings, whether it's investment somewhere else, and being able to put it into an ecosystem. The trust you have in that is generally based on the ability to then exit that. Like say your family member gets sick, say you need, it doesn't really matter what it is. You can just want to go on vacation. It doesn't really matter. Everyone has their own value for what they, what they deem as valuable, and they should be able to go do those things with their resources. And so I'm going to lock. It will redirect to the wallet. Send 28 MPDAO. The longer you lock for, the more voting power you get. So if you're more of a long-term, you have more of a long-term outlook on Metapool, and you kind of want to engage in voting more often, then maybe locking up for longer makes more sense. And if you're more of like a trader, or you more just want to get engaged with like for like 30 days, see how things go, and then see how the rewards are, and then maybe do something else, or maybe re-engage, then you can do 30 days. So as you add voting power, let's say I had more, you get to have at least 2. I always found that interesting, but hey, 2 is a number, and why not have it 2? It does make me go to Ref and kind of have a number to shoot for, which is good, instead of like too much spam on the network for Metapool. And so you can go as low as 30 days. So again, you can kind of, some platforms don't let you do this. I don't know why. I like how you can test out and see what it might look like. So that 28 MP DAO I just put in, when I locked for 300 days, it was 140 voting power. 30 days, you get 14 voting power. It's quite straightforward. You can kind of see how that might look for you. And you can come back every 30 days and keep locking. Again, I just usually don't go back and check things that often. It's more of a hassle for me. So I just keep locking and keep earning. So it seems that I'll earn around 2.9 ST near per month. Again, to me, it would be awesome to be able to put that into Delta Trade, for example, on an ST near pair, and just kind of sit it there and be able to then dollar cost average, maybe even into Metapool, MP DAO. Like that to me would be a reasonable framework. There'd be a pool on Ref for MP DAO to ST near. Again, I know near pairs are kind of, actually they're not required. Anyways, they're not required because of the you already have a large ST near pool, right? And so you would just get more volume on this pool, and fine, everyone has to pay a little bit more gas, but people wouldn't. It's near, gas fees are so low that like it would be fine. I know Delta Trade, I was talking to them, and they were one of the platforms that, because near, like the max gas allowed on a near block isn't the largest or isn't the most, through Terragas, they did have an issue routing through more pairs, but the Ref auto router just upgraded as well. So for example, again, this might be a sidetrack, but I've explained it before. I'll just do it again. So again, turn off the ledger support. And if you just click, details, okay, this is not a good example probably. Let's try near Marma J. It's a Marma J stream. 12 steps. So this is an example. So the normal auto router on Ref.finance now, instead of only using like 3 steps or whatever it used before, it can use like 20 something steps now. And so you can see how if I trade from near to Marma J, Ref will figure it out, right? So again, the good part about having the ST near pair is that it supports the community more. It might not support bots more or traders as much or whatever else, but the community members who are either providing liquidity and holding tokens there, they're supported more. In my opinion, there'd be just as much not just as much volume, but as long as there's another pair. So again, there can't only be one pair. I know there is an improvement proposal out currently talking about creating a pool. It is very sparse, but again, I was on House of Merit with Dav. You've been a validator for a while. I appreciate the proposal. I think there needs to be at least 2 pairs. To keep it simple, you could have liquidity the same on both pairs. Not a big deal. There probably should be a stablecoin pair. Arguably, if people are bullish on the price of Metapool DAO, stablecoin pair should have less liquidity, right? You don't want Metapool DAO, the MP DAO token trying to moon with the price of near and the price of the market, and then a huge stablecoin pair is kind of dragging the price down. Wouldn't be that fun. And there could just be a pair from ST near to MP DAO, and then I don't know, a community token. Like maybe there's a partnership with Black. I can't think of an example. I think Neko is pretty large. Shih Tzu, they have a validator. So an example could be, I think they're pretty large. Let's actually check instead of just using numbers off the top of my head. Classic pools. I think Black Dragon has a few million. There's also the meme season, which makes it easy to check as well. But Black Dragon, yeah, only 200,000. So Shih Tzu, geez, 90. What? Okay, am I? Is it because it's all in the farms? I'm confused. Let's go to meme season real quick. I think Pikes Peak also has a pretty good overview of the meme race. Market. Oh, this is the market cap, not liquidity. Oh, was I getting confused with their market caps? Let's see. Okay. So people are just feeding these tokens, but it seems much lower than it was. But I guess the market went down quite a bit. Because they used to be in the millions, all of them, I think. So maybe Lonk? Let's check. I don't know what Lonk is, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what Lonk is. So maybe there's no community tokens large enough for 500K. Wow, I didn't notice they were all under $1 million now for the most part. Interesting. So yeah, it seems like the largest community pool is Lonk at $500,000. So maybe, MPDAO partnered with some of the larger meme tokens and split it up. So maybe, Lonk near, touched. I don't even know what these tokens are actually. I can't even recommend that. These are tokens I don't even know what they are. So maybe I'll just leave that topic. It'd probably make the most sense to just do ST near and near or something like that to MPDAO, because the rest of these tokens, I love the community tokens. I love the community pools. But at the same time, trying to grow an ecosystem is difficult, and the router will figure out the liquidity. So it's more with the bots. The bots usually need a near pool to route through easier, but it doesn't really matter that much, to be fair. Stablecoin pools are great. I will comment later. I'm getting sidetracked so much. But to keep the flow going, we got our free tokens from Delta Parade. We gachaponned away. You can get at least 2 MPDAO tokens in about 2 or 3 days of gachaponning. So have fun gachaponning, get your 2 MPDAO, and you can, for free, you gotta pay gas fees, but you can test out this flow yourself. Also, for those that are using Minsta, I usually give a bounty at the end. You can use your, at this point, if you had your bounty, you can use your Marma J tokens. Again, MPDAO is now whitelisted. And so you could take, again, sorry, this always goes on. But, again, even one Marma J, you'll have some crazy slippage right now. But maybe even, again, you only need 2, right? So 0.1 Marma J, and you can test out this flow. You can get 2.6 MPDAO. You can come over here. You can add your voting power. You'll have your 2.6, and you can lock up. It'll only be 13 voting power, but you will be able to use 13 voting power and test out the platform. So we can go to our grants. One thing I actually, I don't enjoy how it shows. It always shows the lowest first. It should either be sticky or show alphabetically. Even alphabetically, people will cheat. So showing the most voted probably makes the most sense. I don't know, or just be sticky, like whatever the user has put before. Just open on that. But anyways, one extra click isn't going to kill anybody. So here's the near Antigua proposal. Great job, Deontay. So last month, was our I'm kind of advising the team, was their first time submitting a proposal for them doing it for the grant. I've done it before, but their first time doing it for the grant rounds. So I love the ability to kind of add the images and kind of, write where the location where you're from and do a nice title. But last month, and so we can scroll down, I love how we can see the past and see what happened. So again, it seems like we're in order, which is great. So yeah, so last time, again, it's a bit, I love that it's here, but it's a bit sad to look at. A lot of groups were actually in the same boat. So it wasn't just us, it's okay. We were the highest group. So you need 1% of the vote in order to get the grant. So that's just a cutoff, 1%. And so sadly, we were at 0.95. So even though we had enough votes, we were under the cutoff. But quite a few groups. So as the last minute votes came in, I think there was like a double issue, kind of. So I honestly didn't mind the last minute votes coming in. I saw some of these groups at the top. So these groups here were at the bottom, not at the bottom. And at the last moment, a lot of these groups shot up near the top. And I think that's fine. It was within the rules. People took their MP DAO, their voting power, took it away from validators and put it here. Now, I think that there's somewhat of an issue because the validator reward period is 12 hours. And so if you took your MP DAO away from voting for validators, voted here, it caused an event and then took the votes right back to your validator reward. That seems a bit, again, not cheating, but it does seem a bit disingenuous, right? Like you understand that you're double dipping in rewards, right? Because I said it before, I've said it on my streams, a validator team could be putting up a grant, right? And then they can just have a whole bunch of MP DAO for their own validator and then just not lose out on any additional validator stake and then help out with grants. And they could be advising grant teams, they could be their friends, they could just on a whim, nepotism, it doesn't really matter, but it does seem disingenuous because of the double dipping of rewards. And so I think as long as there's no double dipping of rewards, then there's no issue. And so there was, a clear issue. Again, not just us, but a few teams. So at least 1, 2, 3, 4 groups probably felt a little bit bummed. Went to bed thinking they got rewards. Woke up finding out they weren't just because of the percent. And I think these other groups as well probably had enough votes. They wanted $900. Okay, so they had enough. Like they gathered their community, told everyone, okay, let's get MP DAO, let's get on board, let's vote. They had enough of the vote for the value, but again, there seems to be two issues here where I'm not sure I fully understand the 1% cutoff. So if I had 200,000 voting power, I'd be submitting an MPIP as well. I will comment this. So again, this is the MPIP page. I'll drop the link here in the chat. So there's 2 drafts currently out. There's one about remove incentives for last minute voting, commit for 20 days. Again, I don't even know if committing for 20 days is necessary. It seems that the clear issue is that the time might not be what needs to be. Again, this is the discussion, but I think that the time should have come out of the discussion, in my opinion. The discussion should be there needs to be a locking period for votes in the last period of the voting time. So I'll go into the proposal and hopefully make a little more sense. So say the voting period is from the 9th to the 30th of the month. People start voting, but maybe throughout the month. So for example, let's give a good example. So actually, let's give a real example. Let's do it live. So I go to the grants. It's sticky for now. I go to the votes. I see this proposal from Potluck. I use Max and I vote. Awesome. I love Potluck. I hear a lot of great things about Potluck. They do quadratic voting on Near. I actually was part of Gitcoin grants round 5 or 6. I did a few rounds to round 8. They're on around 28 now, which to me is mind blowing. I feel so old. But it's amazing to see, and I'm excited for Metapool to be the same, right? I was part of grant round 5, 6, 7 of Metapool. I'm excited for one day there to be grant round 28 of Metapool DAO. Very exciting. But these things take time. Anyways, so I voted. Awesome. Now I can go to my votes. I can see, okay, I have voted for Near Week 29. I have voted for Metapool DAO grants. PlugRel, great job. The plug over there, 65,000. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I realize, again, now that I'm looking at it, I feel really weird about it because I'm like, shouldn't I unvote from Near Antigua and vote for validators all month? So I think there just needs to be some sort of it doesn't need to be quadratic in any way. Just some sort of actual equation that actually adds points over time would solve, I think, the entire problem actually. So maybe I'll just suggest that. Like, it seems like so much simpler. Like, if voting for a validator gives them points every 12 hours, it seems to me that voting for Grant should just give points on the exact same validator schedule so that you can't double dip. Either you put your MP DAO towards a validator and they get rewards in that epoch. If that, again, I've read the docs for MP DAO so many times, and I think I miss intricacies all the time. But I'm assuming, again, we can go to the validator section. Again, epoch progress, 8 hours left. You can see how much NEAR is staked with Metapool. And this is how much NEAR is assigned by vote. So the validators get MP DAO voting power delegated or put towards them, voted for them, so that they can earn more of this 5.6 million NEAR delegation so that they can get more rewards as a validator. If you don't know what I'm talking about, no big deal. At the bottom of the MP DAO page is the docs. Again, I've read them many times. Even I miss things. You could read them again. I'll pull them up. There's a nice finder bar, the search bar I use often. So just type in what you're looking for, and you can find it pretty quickly. So validator, validator selection as a validator, voting for validators, how to vote. There's so much information here. Feel free to go through it. If you have questions, you can ask in the chat, but relatively self-explanatory. And so again, I generally just search for NEAR week because it's a validator I know about. But Shih Tzu should also be here. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Oh, their validator rewards too high. You have to be under a certain percent. I think 10% or something like that. They're at 20 something percent because they give kickback to the community, so they're not on the list here. But anyways, there's so many groups. I usually go to NEAR week, but you can see, if we're going to the top, that Luga nodes, they have 42 million votes. That's crazy. They get assigned by performance and assigned by vote. So I think that's pretty cool, right? There's a, Metapool DAO is like, hey, we got to actually make sure that we're not taken over and overrun by the token. We need to kind of make sure that we're kind of being logical about, earning revenue for the platform, which is so cool. Hey there, AVB, glad to have you on the stream. I guess nostalgic, eh? Talking about Metapool, good old days. But yeah, I like how it's separated by performance and by votes, not just by votes. It'd be kind of weird if you can just kind of own a huge stake of Metapool and like push rewards to other validators. It'd be weird might be a weird word to use for it, but I think certain things in crypto just don't seem right, and that is the delineation we use a lot of times. That seems wrong, and we just kind of go by that. But anyways, I do think there needs to be some sort of... some of the people don't like the locking period, and I think in this proposal, so again, I won't read the entire proposal. I will drop the link for the proposal in the chat. It's in discussion period, draft period at the moment. So you can log in to... I use NEAR Social, not dev.near.org or whatever. So sorry if you're not logged in, you can log in here. So again, sorry if people have never done it before, no big deal. Again, you can delete the key by logging out, sign in. I use Meteor wallet usually for the stream, connect, add a key, and you can comment yourself. So if you have comments, oh, shard stuck, haha, that's actually kind of funny. Oh, it actually doesn't like it at all. Interesting. That was cool. I don't know, like just, I guess a Meteor wallet, like RPC issue or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe token prices are changing and DeFi is happening. That's what every time there's a bug with sending a trade, I just say, oh, DeFi is happening. Prices are changing. So you can read through this. I'll go through just high level. Sorry, I'm blind, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So I was observing grant round 7, multiple last minute votes in great numbers coming from votes that were previously signed to validators. One of the incentives to vote last minute is to return the votes to the validators as soon as possible to avoid reducing validator stake, even if that's a rational action given the competing interests, vote in grants and keep valid or stake. I believe the behavior is playing against the quality of the grants voting process, and so we must remove the incentive. So I think, honestly, this is a great paragraph. That is the exact problem. And I think that the solution should play specifically to the problem. So here, again, I wish there was a format for this because it's very confusing for me, at least, to read through stuff like this. It's all in one thing. But it seems like, so the problem statement would be here. Awesome. This makes a lot of sense. This here is the proposed solution. So usually when you have like improvement proposals, even for near, so NEP near core. I guess we should even just copy near core because near has a pretty good, it's a bit different. So the guidelines are NEP1. But yeah, usually you have, where are we? Let's go to the next one, see if it, yeah. Summary, motivation, rationale, alternatives. Exactly, yeah. So the summary is like the what's happening, what is the grant round, what are we doing? Motivation would be, okay, I noticed the problem, here's a link to the grant round, here's maybe some, some graphs, some proof of like what happened, there's some transaction links of funds being removed, deposited, going back, really cool to see. And then obviously this is a bit like specific to MPIPs. But if there was history of similar MPIPs, where maybe the grant round had an issue or similar history to look back on, if you're a reviewer, to be like, okay, there is precedent in this type of, if there's an issue of this type, there should be a change of a similar type. But anyways, hopefully over time, I guess that's also an MPIP that needs to be submitted, that there should be, usually it'd be MPIP 1 or MPIP 0 would be whatever, setting up the structure. But anyways, I'm not sure I fully, after thinking over it more, that's why I didn't want to respond yesterday when I first read it. I want to take a little bit of time. I know there is a comment, so again, I'm just going to go down. Again, people can read through all of it. Claudio actually gave, so there's comments from validators, comments from the community, a little bit of back and forth. Doesn't really matter. It matters. Everyone's opinion matters, but we should try and find what's helpful for the most people and supports the community best, not really what any one person has to say. But as one of the main leaders of Metapool, I think they actually give a pretty good overview of the problem and like what needs to happen. There was some talk about quadratic voting and how that would take too long to implement. Like, could that happen by the next grant round? And personally, I feel as though alternating months does seem to make sense. So having a grant round in 1 month, so say it was June, then having July off, and then having a grant round in August, then having September off seems to make sense to me. It leaves more time for rewards to accumulate. It leaves time to assess grants and do some of the bookkeeping on the back end to make sure that grants are being done, that the funding is being distributed, but actually work's being done for those funds. I know that funds distributed after, but milestones need to be checked, and all this work needs to be done. So alternating months seems to make sense. So you could have a lockup and it wouldn't affect grant voting, arguably. So the lockup could work with alternating months. I just don't, I do see the validator issue. I do see how if I'm a validator and I have all this MP down, I've bought into the system, I don't see how I would ever withdraw my economic incentive to then support the community. And so it goes the other way. It says, hey, you're a validator, so we're not really, don't take part in the grants. And so I think there was I think it might have been here. Maybe I'll read through the whole thing. Actually, it was a good comment. So this is an experiment to support grant proposals and maximize the amount of funded projects. One important aspect to consider here: we are putting our users first. In this case, it's the grantees. So again, to clarify, the problem statement is the fact that more of the summary is that the grant round is to support as many grants as many projects as possible, to try to support lots of projects, and who comes first is the grant recipients, the grantees. That's who we're supporting, not the voters, not the community. It's specifically for this, the subsection of community would be the grantees. It seems. It's from Metapool, not from me, I guess. Please take this into account. So again, speaking to those that might have dissenting opinions about the proposal. Validators are important, I guess, to the community and to Metapool ecosystem, and they are being supported through the ongoing allegation of NEAR through governance voting. So like we said, there's 5.6 million NEAR, there's already a healthy voting ecosystem for validators, and that subsection of the community is being supported fully. Metapool is now trying to expand that to other subsections of its community. So when using a huge amount of VP to support grant proposals at the last minute, you are leaving a lot of proposals without a fair chance to allocate VP. And the reason for this mainly right now, honestly, what makes it even worse is that you can't go to Ref. So say I woke up 5 a.m., the grant round's ending in an hour, and I was like, oh my gosh, we only need 100,000. Like, come on. It's I'm gonna keep looking at it, and I love that it's here and it's on chain. Because I purposely didn't look. I purposely felt that it would happen, but there was no way to fix it. So there was no point of looking. But if you woke up in the morning and you were any one of these teams, right? Any one of these teams, economically, again, not financial advice, economically would have went to Ref.finance or went somewhere, would have purchased some voting power, and would have voted for themselves, right? Like that's just the obvious economic incentive that's available to you. But the issue is, again, I disagree with this fully. I will publicly say I disagree. A lot of the initiative over the past 6 months, a year, has been revamping the token, launching on Ethereum, launching on Uniswap, which is fine. I don't have to agree with it. The community wants to do it. The team wants to do it. Fine. I think it's actually very confusing. I'm very confused about the Ethereum voting ecosystem, but I hope it grows the community. And I think it already has gotten some Ethereum community members at least engaged and interested in what's happening with Metapool, which is awesome. So it's like Aurora for NEAR. I don't necessarily think that all of our effort should be used to invest in Aurora and build it out, but I personally invested into Aurora. I use it whenever I can, and I think it's an amazing advantage that NEAR has. But in my opinion, NEAR is the core of what's being done at Metapool, at least for now. And it's the core of where the community is for now. And so I think there should have been just as much effort, at least, or maybe more effort, on liquidity on NEAR. I think there's a lot of ways to even 1% of fees taken from community, right? Like instead of it going to grants, if 1% of what would have went to grants went towards liquidity, and then that eventually just came back, and then fees just were withdrawn once every quarter and given back to the DAO. Like no one, the DAO doesn't lose. Like I don't know. So I guess I have problems with there's intricate solutions that could be thought up, awesome, but there's also simple solutions that take enough time, enough smart people sitting around, you can probably find them. So personally on this proposal, I'll keep reading through it so we could get through their thoughts. But that's kind of what's happening. So a lot of teams aren't reaching the minimum. So again, that's the part I was talking about. It's not only skewing the votes a little bit, which is fine-ish because it's within the rules. It's actually taking people out of the minimum threshold because so much votes are coming in that weren't really part of grants anymore, and they're going to a few teams, so it's skewing the percent. And there's no way to offset it. So even if you were like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, but I'll go take the economic hit, I'll go buy some MP DAO and fix the problem, you can't because there's no liquidity. And that to me is a team issue. Sorry, team. Love you guys a lot, actually. But, this could have been solved arguably just by, having some liquidity on NEAR. Also, you can't vote on Ethereum for grants. So also, we already know, anyways, it would have been cool if we could use chain signatures, at least, test out some new technology to then use our Ethereum accounts to vote, maybe not with our normal NEAR accounts, but with a NEAR account, and with our Ethereum, login, sign. Anyways, suggestions for the future. I don't have enough voting power on any of my accounts to submit a proposal right now. I have them on different accounts, but I can't consolidate because it's all locked. So I find that to be frustrating as well. There should be a way to submit a proposal with 20,000 and then gather community votes. Maybe it's 500,000 to get it into a draft if you don't have 200,000, because it's prohibitive, especially if you don't have liquidity to get more voting power. So I have a lot of problems with the current system, but a lot of areas for improvement. So that's great. So, you can't get the percent for funding. Implementing quadratic voting will require development that cannot be applied to the grant round number 8. So I understand that. They're looking for a solution specifically for grant round 8. So again, taking that into consideration is important. And I'm not sure if actually the point system could be implemented in grant round 8. I think it could be if it's implemented quick enough, because you can just look back and be like, well, anyways, maybe it would be unfair because people are probably waiting. Actually, it would be unfair. So maybe the lockup for this month and then next round a point system would be simpler than that. I don't think quadratic is needed in this system, but maybe maybe like longer term. It doesn't. It's a huge undertaking. We can look into this and put in a roadmap. Anyways, okay, we understand the concerns from I think 2 validators specifically, and okay, so go on. And then based on feedback, they reduced it from 25 to 20 days, which I think is a positive. I don't think there needs to be a long lockup. And then again, a lot of people commenting. In general, I agree with the proposal. And I guess I'll comment now just so I don't take too long to respond. I will take a screenshot of this fun, because there was multiple groups that it happened to. I think actually there's one. No, they're a bit lower, so we'll keep them out of it. But there was a few groups here that, there's multiple issues, I think. And I more just want to denote the issues, because I think the proposal's been up for a while and the community already, I think, understands that this needs to happen. I think one of the funny things, though, is that I never, even though I understood that I could vote for validators, I don't have enough incentive to keep my vote there. So I think off the bat, there needs to be an incentive for the point system. People were saying 2 days and 3 days. There was some discussion in the chat. I think people were saying from 48 hours before it ends. You don't want people just moving things around quickly without knowing the outcome. I think 48 hours is enough. 36 just doesn't really matter, I guess. It could be 24 even, so it doesn't really matter. I think 48 gives enough time for people to, as long as people know how much time. So, hey, 40 hours before, go check the grant so you can see what's happening. These funds at least should be locked long term. Now, people could still wait till the last moment and could still skew the vote disproportionately. But at least it'll be locked for 20 days. And so it's like a penalty. I don't know if I like the penalty. But it might be necessary for this grant round. I understand that. It's already live. I think the point I'm trying to make here is that it'll still happen. Like validators, I'm assuming, will still wait till the very last moment. They will still allocate some of their voting power towards grants and probably skew the results a bit before. But, well, they'll still do it like the last moment. They can't reallocate. The 2 day part, I'm not sure really matters that much. Like, I don't know. That part doesn't matter as much. I'm not sure I fully. I'm just gonna make sure I clarify that it was discussed and not it was my opinion. I'm not sure I fully understand the exact solution that this solves. I don't think we have people that are changing their votes between grants. I think it's more that it's coming from validators. So are they saying that within the last 2 days? Anyways, you should be able to vote to the last moment. You should be able to buy out voting power and vote to the last second. I don't know. So hopefully that's not the case. But if you take too much of your voting power, you'll be penalized with a 20-day loss in rewards. So basically what it's saying is take a little bit of voting power and add to it, but don't take your entire voting power and swing it across, destroy the grant system, and then So I think the point I'm trying to make here is that the way Grant 07 was held, just because of certain, systems that were in place did not allow for the grant round, which is meant to support grantees first and foremost, to do that with all the grantees. There's a few issues, some issues to note, because I think some issues are getting missed in like the discussion. I mean, maybe it's not the same as the current system, because they don't really get points, they just actually get allocated. Right, but like this is basically points. In the next epoch, they're gonna get 32,000 points, man. And those points are gonna, like, there's a whole tracking system for this already. So I know it's not gonna be actually tracking like their votes and whatnot, but it's still tracking voting power per epoch assigned to like an address or whatever. It doesn't even matter what it's assigned to. There's two, I don't know. Some of the countries using validators. I don't know. I don't know if I need to be more clear here for people. Like, maybe I'll put the link so that if people are confused, I think you use Markdown here too. Okay, well, I'm very frustrated about that one actually. The fact that like it's supposed to be an open governance system, and I mean the DAO should own liquidity so that when people buy and sell governance, like their stake in governance, the DAO is earning. Like, it seems like it's such a simple system to like have the DAO be supported economically as people engage, but the fact that like core member, I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Keep it as a snide comment for now in my comments. Again, links. Where did I put the liquidity? Because there was so much meta liquidity. I'm so confused why the meta liquidity didn't just become. Anyways, I gotta keep it on the paper. So there was the. Yes, I don't think people should be penalized. So first of all, I agree. For this grant round 8, it seems like the 20-day, you have to penalize validators in some way so that they take less of their stake and put it in. Yeah, so that, I agree with the validators. Penalization long-term doesn't make sense. Quadratic, potentially, maybe to test it. But for now, I think a simple point system, in my opinion at least, that's what I would be voting for. And then the issue at hand is way worse, but there's no liquidity. So we can't even do anything about it. I'm not going to talk about the Ethereum stuff and chain signatures. I mean, it's kind of annoying that like all this push was pushed towards Ethereum, and like I'm sure it's being worked on. I'm sure it's coming. I know the team is. I've spoken to Claudia about it, so I know the team's working on many things. But I'll leave it at that. I do understanding having like a dollar value cutoff. Like you can't cater to every dollar value. It might just be too small for the team to actually go through metrics and all that. So I understand that potentially. Like saying, okay, honestly, if you're asking for less than $500, maybe just try and get a larger proposal in. Like make it a multi-month proposal, make it like a 6-month proposal. That I understand. And then requiring a certain percent of the vote to match that 500. Like they have I don't know, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's on the docs. That makes sense to me. So you can't like you have to get enough votes to meet the 500 is what I'm saying. But I'm not sure I understand fully just saying you need 1% of the vote. It seems as though if this is an experiment to support proposals. Okay, so I guess I should follow here as well. Co-founder of Metapool. I think it was 4 groups were cut out at the end of the day, simply based on, again, so even after the validators coming in, doing their stake, putting it back, these groups that were cut out weren't cut out because of those validators. Arguably, they were cut out based on a rule that was set up by Metapool, right? By the team. And the team set up a rule saying you need 1%. but 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. And again, maybe more. I don't know. The cutoff might have been closer to here, but I'm not. I'm not going to assume. At least 4, right? So, in the image attached, at least 4 grantees were left out of rewards because they missed this cutoff. And so the reason I could think is that the team honestly just can't manage that many grants in a certain month, and so push it to the next month. Although I don't think that's necessarily putting grantees first. But again, I'm writing it here because I'm trying to have the discussion about it. In the image attached, these 4 grantees were cut out of the rewards because maybe I should clarify in grant round 7. And I don't think you can pull up just the grant round 7 page, so I'll leave it alone. People can look it up themselves because they missed this cutoff. I am not sure that these teams, which I don't want to presume. No, let's leave it at the facts. In the image tax, 4 grantees were cut out of rewards because they missed this cutoff. Maximize the amount of funded projects. So basically saying that the problem that occurred causing these grantee groups to get left out, actually might have not been a problem without this 1% cutoff. Last round, even with these validators ruling the VP in the last moments. And maybe not every group would have been supported, but it seems like it would have been a little bit more equitable. I'm not gonna. Usually, I would take this and run it through ChatGPT or something and check for spelling and grammar for stuff like that. And that. But I think my point is relatively clear, and I'm going to comment. Awesome sauce. So there's my first one. The stream has already, I feel like, been 1 hour and 20, so already been a bit long. I knew it would be once I said I was going to actually write them on the stream. I think they're at the bottom. So there you go. There's my wonderful comment. Okay, so I'm just going to, I think you can, yeah. Oh, interesting. Gotta close that, I suppose. The next proposal, I'll leave it. I'm gonna give a shorter feedback. Maybe decrease MP DAO value, but increase the number of holders and consumers. I don't think it would decrease the value. I'm trying to think. Why would it decrease the value? Because people could sell. Maybe. But if people wanted to sell, they would already set liquidity, I think. I don't know. In my opinion, if you wanted to sell your MP DAO, it's pretty straightforward. You just, it's been more than 30 days now. I think the team thought that people would sell. I think that's why they didn't set liquidity. But no one wants to sell. I think that's the problem. Because if you had a bunch of MP DAO and you wanted to sell, you would just, well, maybe you have 300-day lockups, and that really causes an issue. I get it. But people knew this was coming. If they wanted to sell them, in my opinion, people would have planned to sell half or whatever, set liquidity, and you'd see more liquidity than there is. So I don't necessarily, but anything can happen. But I don't think setting liquidity specifically would lower token prices, and I don't think there should be a whole bunch of liquidity set. I think it should just be a small amount. Anyways, I'm going to leave my comments. The liquidity source for MP DAO ST near, I love it. 10% from the protocol fees for 4 months. Okay, so the protocol fees are currently like this: 10% for voters, 20% for team, 10% to add to the grants fund. Funding it means that in 4 months, there'll be 5% less for voters, the same for team. I love it. Half for the grants fund. And then, so basically they're saying they're taking 5% from voters and 5% from the grants to fund the pool. Monthly protocol fees are approximately this much, yada, 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 $50,000 a month, they're saying. Oh, over the 4 months, it'd be 50 grand. Okay, not bad. Important discussion. The DAO should decide. What should we expect in the increase? How much capital to deploy? Again, I mean, obviously, I think you just deploy a little bit of capital and see how it goes, and you deploy another improvement proposal based on that. I don't think we need to create personally, I don't think it needs to be like a long. I think the one good thing is just keeping it simple. There needs to be some pool available for users. So I think keeping it as simple as possible is the benefit. I think we do need to clarify these answers in this discussion. And I think this actually works out great. This is actually a great. I read it before, but I do think this is a great overview. Like the team needs to survive and do its thing, so keep the team the same. Maybe I would take more from voters and keep the grants the same. Like I don't know if it's, I don't know, but whatever. 5 and 5 is fine. A plan, clear goals, capital allocation. Ref.finance team involved, of course. With the pool, the solution, take a portion of the tokens from the treasury, distribute 100% of the August rewards in MP DAO tokens, applying a discounted price, 30% discount. This would drop the token price though. So the only reason I would disagree with that is it would drop the token price, which in my opinion is like there's a whole token reset and a 6-month pause and all this fun stuff. It seems as though we should be, as a community, we should be guarding the healthy token economy. Thanks for the proposal. Appropriate and overdue. Agreed. 8th round, but limited ways. Again, yeah, it's been like two or 3 rounds without. Yeah. I suppose I support it. Take 10%. Okay, the remaining question will be, where does the remaining MP DAO come from? Awesome. I love it. So expanding upon the simple $50,000 and how do we get more? I didn't read past the first proposed solution, so I wanted to keep some of it on the stream. So first 2 months out of 4 provide ST-Near and equivalent of MP DAO. For the final 2 months, only ST-Near from fees on a traditional AMM. This would result in half the fees being converted. Are you saying like they would? Okay, wait. Half the fees being converted to MP DAO as it enters the vault would have some desired impact on price. So I'm assuming you mean like basically DCAing every 5 seconds into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just brain dead. MP DAO is and should be highly desirable. Agreed. MP DAO allocation to community is equally valuable and is currently underutilized. I'm looking forward to new proposals on how to turn MP DAO incentives back on. Yes, I think we need MP DAO incentives in the community, but we need the pool needs to come. There are so many ways, like DCAing ST-Near into Metapool on Delta Trade is such a straightforward and earning MP DAO in the gachapon and those types of smaller things, in my opinion, are a no-brainer. But that's what the treasury, in my opinion, again, whatever, should be used for in small, measurable ways. But going straight to liquidity and farming rewards is usually a bit much. On the pool, though, there should be a farm, and the farm should have MP DAO rewards and ST-Near rewards. I just don't think it should be much. It's already an amazing, you're already getting ST-Near rewards, but there should be some incentive. You should earn ST-Near at least. A liquid market for MP DAO is fundamental. Agreed. Okay, yeah, agreed. 1 month, yeah, I don't agree. Sorry, profit. It is important to review the process in detail. Okay, so I agree with most of what's being said. I'm just gonna leave like the changes. So short notes for now. GM all slowly here. So maybe I will number these ones. 1, in my opinion, there should be at least 2 pools being considered. 100% agree with ST near MP DAO pool. There should probably be a stable pool as well. I mean, DAO. I would say USDC just because you have then I would love to see limit orders on Ref. So when we go to, okay, stop it. When we go to Pro, sorry, not Pro. When we go to limit orders, it'd be nice to see US. And this is all USDCE. It's a bit annoying, but there are other pairs like Ref near. But it seems like they're all just near based or UCC based. So it would be nice to see what's it called? MPDAO, again, partnering with Ref to be on a limit order pair. It makes certain bot trades easier. Also on Delta Trade, when you go to creating new vaults, you can see that, again, most of these trades are to USDC. For swing or DCA or grid, you're usually wrapping around some sort of, again, Marma J is just different. We're always different and unique. But most of them are to USDC. So again, having some USDC liquidity, again, a lot less than the ST liquidity, maybe 90, 10, 10. Again, that's not a good assessment. I'm just literally shouting numbers off the top of my head. USDC native. The liquidity for USD native is might have been growing now, but it has been growing on Near in general. The adoption for different projects has been growing in general. And now that you have connections with Base in Telegram wallets, you have the bridge again, the aggregate bridge for Near to Base. I think you'll see a lot of people can easily bring Base to Near. I'm not going to connect right now, but a lot of people are able to then take USDC from Base if they wanted to buy in. Again, not financial advice. I don't really buy crypto, but if someone did want to buy in, it's a relatively seamless process to be on Base and then find their way to Near now and get on Ref and use these tools. And other tools can make it easier, like Delta Trade. For I think the DCA on chain dollar cost averaging will be a huge boost for people. But that's where you probably would need then the ST near. Anyways, doesn't really matter. But so use native and please MP DAO. I mean, okay, so I wonder if that would even. I feel like I need to think about it a lot more before hitting comment on this. This is why we had Marma J on so many pools, and I've changed things over time. But it was easier to see with all these low fees, and so this is a bad example, but you can see how you have like $48,000 here with 19% fees, and you have 81% fees here. With 7,000, you're able to earn almost half the amount with a fraction of the total value locked. There are Other examples where even XREF to Marma J, for example, has higher APR than ST-near. So that there's clear indicators that with the same pool fee, your APR, so the amount of value. So there is some indicators that, even with a similar pool fee. So first of all, pool fees below 0.5 are atrocious for everyone. Don't. So when Metapool, I'll write that in the comments, but the pool fee should probably be, 1% is fine. It's a governance community token. I think 1% is fine. It's a bit high, but it's not. The bots that trade will end up paying the liquidity providers, and then that is the incentive. That the higher pool fee is the incentive for LPs. LPing, even if it only earns you ST-near or whatever, people can go buy more Metapool and then get voting power. So I think it's fine regardless. And so you can kind of see here which tokens. So even USDCE would give you 0.89% APR. I mean, literally, if we go based on APR, this is cheating because we have a farm to add to it. But Black Dragon, that's 8.81, sorry. Aurora is the highest APR token that we could attach to. So, for example, I used to think that Metapool on Ethereum was through Aurora, so that might have made sense in the past. But Near, for example, is the next highest APR. So I do think there should be a Near pool. It'll provide additional liquidity for the token. It'll look good on CoinMarketCap. It'll look good on CoinGecko. It'll add liquidity for the token, and that's probably the highest reason, honestly. For the value that's distributed, it adds more liquidity. The efficiency of the liquidity is higher when paired with Near than ST-near, and that can be. You could see this here clearly. Marma J is paired to ST-near, but it's not very efficient. And you can kind of see some other ones like USDC 1%, but again, the pretty high pool fees, so that's not that great. Marma J Ref always does well. Being paired to Ref actually might be better than paired to a lot of other things. So I would maybe put that on there as well. At least 2 pools. ST-near, MP DAO, I agree. There should probably, I need to spell better, be a stable pool as well. And I believe MP DAO to Near and MP DAO to Ref would be efficient to seed as well. I don't know, actually I shouldn't have numbered these. I also think I don't think Metapool DAO runs as an actual DAO. They're individually owned accounts from my understanding. So locked liquidity might be interesting. I can't read locked liquidity. More just because it's the DAO committing to something on chain. Okay, we're going to add this much liquidity for, say it's 4 months. I think maybe even a month-by-month assessment might be reasonable. I'm not sure 4 months or 6 months or 2 months or even, makes much sense. Potentially just having, this is what a month might look like, providing liquidity for the ecosystem. And we can assess each month and reallocate. So maybe we're only reallocating how much goes to each pool each month for 4 months, right? So maybe we set the percents here, maybe it's 5% off voters, 5% off grants for 4 months, but then maybe month by month we reassess, how much is going towards. So I was saying almost 90 to ST-near. Now maybe, so maybe it would be 80% ST-near, and then 5%, 5% near, 5% ref, 5. And this is not USDC. Did I only say 4 things? I think I said 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So maybe I'd actually skew these more like. Maybe I skew these more. Oops. Because ref pairs actually do very well. And then USDC for the stable, probably important. Again, just to seed these pairs, and then the community and the fees should, like, if the liquidity is locked, let's say for a year, and this experiment goes on for, let's say, 3 months, like, the liquidity is still seeded, right? The community can still trade with these pools. Fees, like the shares, will still increase in value, and after the year, the DAO can then be like, okay, well, liquidity is unlocked. What should we do with this liquidity? Like, do we remove half of it? Do we, buy more MP DAO with it? Right, that'd be cool. Maybe on a quarterly basis, reassess. So maybe it's locked quarterly. Like, again, when I say lock up, it's for discussion, I think. But I do think locking liquidity provides for a timeline to go back and check. So if you lock for a year, it means that once a year you're going to go back and check on the locked liquidity. Maybe you sell 10% of the lot. Maybe you earned 20%, you sell 10%, keep some liquidity in, and then go buy more Metapool DAO. So maybe every year you're getting a 10% purchase power back into the price of the token. Because some of that S year would be sold to then buy more MP DAO, which could go to the community, can go to farming, doesn't really matter. Probably at least 2. I think these 4 would be reasonable. What else? I think I'm definitely forgetting. Oh, the percents. Again, I feel like we're out on liquidity as a whole. I'm trying to think, who are the people that are going to be supported. I guess the grantees would be supported most. The voters earned from the voter free are the grantees, validators. Validators earning less, but there's liquidity to sell into if you're. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Honestly, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter much at all. I feel as though it'd be interesting to then take pool fees and distribute them back to the grantees. If liquidity is locked for 3 months at each deposit. If we're doing this for 4 months, you deposit on month 1, 2, 3, and 4. You lock up for 3 months for a quarter. Then month 4, 5, 6, and 7. And arguably, if you continue to be, it'll be once a month, right? Someone would go add more funds back, check on it. Monthly might not even be reasonable. It depends how much was there. But just, again, this is just an idea. Again, as an example. Let me just maybe clarify. Example, I'm not actually saying this would be the case. Over 3 months, each deposit, month 4, 5, 6, and 7 would allow for reassessment of liquidity. And so at that reassessment, right, maybe there'd be an MPIP every month. And I think that might have to be the process for now, where it would be like, hey, here's the report on, here's the previous MPIP that passed, hopefully, giving liquidity to these pools at this percent. Here's a report on what's happened over the past 3 months, or we've added liquidity for 3 months. Here's a report on what's happened in the past 3 months. Then you'd have a time period. You have 1 more month you're doing this for, but you'd have a period of reassessment from month 3 to 4, right? Where you can say, okay, this has been going very well. Let's resubmit for 4 more months, let's say, and then you'd also be able to say, let's for month 4, let's reallocate maybe 50% to S10-year. Maybe the stablecoin pool needs more tokens this month because token prices are high already. Yes, sorry, they're high already. So we're going to put more tokens to the stablecoin. So I think it does need a monthly assessment probably for the 4 months if it's being happened. And I think there should be, does it need to be a lockup for 3 months each time? I just think it does allow for a simple cadence of, quarterly larger like reassessments and reallocations. And then every 4 months, you kind of reassess, do you want to keep adding liquidity from the rewards? Because arguably, I mean, right now we're saying 10% to fund the pools, but eventually we'll hopefully see 5% for the pool and 5% for community initiatives or DeFi initiatives, right? So if we want to see funding in Delta Trade, if we want to see farming rewards on Ref, if we want to see other initiatives, well, that's probably going to have to come. Well, it's going to have to come from somewhere. And I don't think we should drop voters. Again, this is my personal opinion. I think dropping voters lower than 50% is, long term. I think giving half the funds back to those that actually engage and vote is pretty cool. 25% of the team seems reasonable. That gives us only 25% to play with eventually. And so that's a lot to play with as a community as it grows. I think there's more that can be taken from voters even now. But I think it does look really cool. When you come out here and you go to, when people come, people don't know about Metapool much now, they're learning about it now. As people learn about Metapool from this farm, from the liquidity, or the farm that comes from talking with Ref doesn't mind farm as long as you get people to come in and support. So I think Metapool can definitely get people to come and engage with Ref.finance and the tools that are there. But it's pretty cool when you come to your votes and you add your voting power and you see, okay, if I put in, let's say, like $400 worth, $360, whatever, right? It's pretty cool to see that, you make $140 a year. Woohoo! Like, it sounds cool seeing your 40%, and already in this system we're dropping it by 5, so you can be like 37% or whatever if this passes, and then obviously if it goes down even more, it goes down to 30%. And long term, there's no way this is staying at 40%, right? I hope we're all in agreement that it's not healthy for this to stay at 40%, in my opinion. I think 20% is probably more reasonable long term. But that does mean that, dropping down to 50% voter rewards already cuts into that already. And then we want to see a lot more people getting these tokens and voting with them. And so that's also going to drop the rewards. There's lots of tokens still on the market. And we don't want to see token price drop. So again, whenever we think about farming rewards or the team's lockup being used, we got to think, well, if the team's lockup is being used, then all these numbers are going to go down, arguably, kind of, right? Like the MP DAO that's coming should come from the market in some way. Obviously, I think what's missing here a little bit is, where the MP DAO, like I think where the MP DAO comes from. Like it still has to come from, I think that's kind of, okay, maybe that's what I'll write about next. Reassessment of liquidity. I'll just put often and leave it at that. So my point here was the ST near can come from protocol fees, but the MP DAO would be coming from the treasury, I assume, which means it's like free tokens, not really free tokens. But that's why I also think that we need to discuss before we use those tokens as a community, what happens to them after. So if we're only doing this for 4 months, is that liquidity locked for, are we saying that we're locking a certain percent of meta into liquidity forever? And this to me would be potentially thoughts for the future. Like how do we get ST near, not forever. I think locking tokens forever is kind of silly. You want them to go to the community and be useful. So maybe that would be where I see the value. So let's say on month 4 things are going well. The ST near can go back to the DAO for use for grants, and the MP DAO may be used for farming. to give back to the community. As long as it's being given back to the community in some way, I think that's the goal. But then you go from the treasury, I just see them. I guess I want to make it clear that like the MP DAO shouldn't be sold. Maybe it doesn't need to be clarified. Yeah, I don't think there should be any discounts, but I do think it needs to be discussed. Actually, yeah, like what happens because this MP DAO, because it's actually entering the market. Like the ST unit doesn't matter as much, but the MP DAO is entering. New to the market. Trying to just discuss that at the end of the assessment period, whenever these tokens, if there is a possibility that these tokens will exit the liquidity pool after the lockup period. So I think there should be a lockup, some kind of lockup period. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's only. I put 3 months just because it's the shortest I could think of being reasonable. Longer, probably better for the MP DAO section. So ST near, no big deal. Like it'll be there for a while, hopefully years to come. But the MP DAO section, I think, releasing a whole bunch of MP DAO into the liquid market is already potentially a problem. But at least on an AMM, if someone wants to buy that MP DAO, first of all, you can release it in short, like over time. So you can release again, like $10,000, $20,000 a month of liquidity over a year, and so it shouldn't skew things that much. Even if it goes up and down and it's volatile, it shouldn't mess up the price too much. And if someone does want to keep buying, it should keep pushing up the token price, which means that all the holders are earning in value. At least in what you had. So you could then sell back into a higher market. But there's not really new tokens. Well, it's harder for new tokens to enter as the price goes up. More capital has to enter the market for that to happen. But for example, at the end of the lockup period, if maybe not enough scrutiny is being done, maybe someone says, okay, just sell 10% of the, of the liquidity earnings. But selling 10% of the ST-NEAR is very different than selling 10% of the MP DAO. So you could sell 20% of the ST-NEAR, maybe sell none of the MP DAO. And so maybe the MP DAO goes, yeah. I just think more thought. I'm here on a live after one day of thinking about it. I don't think I have done enough analysis on the MP DAO market. But I do think it's something that should be noted and something that should be taken into consideration. I think DeFi here. It's whitelisted now, so maybe it's here. Let's see. MP DAO, nice. It's whitelisted, so it's here. What the heck? Cool, that's me. So you can see all the trades. And again, they're all tiny. This is the sad part. Any trade over $100, new. So hopefully that'll change soon. But now that it's whitelisted, we should also see it here. Awesome. So 1 billion supply, 0 burned, 18 million market cap, 6,000 folders. Aurora. Oh, what? Is this broken? I clicked something different. Maybe I got a message DDA about this. Okay, I wasn't the only one that saw it though, right? It did say MP DAO. That's weird. Okay, let's show it again. Money. Let's see if we can find it on the list instead. There you go, MP DAO. MPDAO dash token down here. MPDAO dash token down here. Ah, it's broken. Okay. Message DDA real quick. Okay, so by next week, that should be fixed. No worries. So I'll do, like, I can't really do an assessment at all now without. I know Metapool has not that dashboard. There's a different dashboard. If you go to docs, there's some. It's so hard to find. Is it this? Statistics, Grafana. Okay, so this is stats.metapool.app. So I'll drop that in the chat because I lose this constantly, but I found it pretty quickly today. Welcome to Metapool. So this is everything though. This is the Uniswap price. 0.3. Does it even show? I'm always curious if they're the same price. I don't think they are. 1 MP DAO. See, 1 MP DAO is 11 cents on Near, and 1 MP DAO is. This is why it's interesting. I don't even know how to take that. To be fair, but 1 Metapool is 3 cents on Ethereum, but on Ethereum you get like different ecosystems. So I wonder if I guess I see maybe they'll have the complete completely different system. But when you go to Ethereum, I guess I could just connect. Minsta is going through more updates. Should be done by the end of the week. It's not connected to MetaMask. Okay, I give up. No, leave me alone. Okay, maybe I'll stop that now. Doesn't seem to be working very well. Anyways, on Ethereum, I do have some voting power. You're able to go to your vote section on Ethereum, and you can see that the APY seems the same, but the cost of the tokens is way less. It might even out later. Who knows? Doesn't really matter that much. This one, there should be heavy scrutiny on how these tokens are used. That's all I kind of mean to say. Whatever's done with them, let's make sure that it's efficient for the ecosystem. I think that's all from me. Definitely agree with the pools. I think there should be at least 2 pools. These 4, those seem reasonable. I didn't put a pool fee at 0.819% pool fee. Realistically, around 1%. I'm just kind of joking around. But hey, if you want to do 0.819 because I put it there, I would greatly appreciate it. I would make you very happy, actually. I do agree with the split for now. I think over time more could be taken from the voters, but I think that it's very healthy to assess and wait and see first. I do think liquidity should be locked for at least 3 months, and there should be at least a 4-month assessment period. More than 4 months, probably too long. Locking up for 3 months, less than that is probably too short. And just being very careful with how MPDAO enters the market later. I know that some people might want to get more MPDAO on their hands. I know some people might want farming rewards in MPDAO, but long-term health of the ecosystem should be first and foremost in all of our minds if we're MPDAO holders and DAO participants. And so again, just heavy scrutiny and a lot of analysis and data should be gathered before too much MPDAO tokens are entering the market. So I do like the idea of playing it safe and taking 10% a month for now, which is actually quite a lot in my opinion. I'd probably want to see that drop down from 10%, but be more long-term. Like the DAO is going to lock up for, every month, the DAO is going to lock up for a year and have a monthly reassessment and actually have like someone from the team who's hired as a financial planner for the DAO or whatever actually taking this monthly assessment, writing the MPIPs, and actually pushing this forward. I don't think it'll be successful without someone actually taking the time to do that. So I'm going to comment because I'm like tired, and that's all I have to say. I meant to be a short note and it being like 2 hours of notes. I might have to refresh this time. There it is, my notes. Awesome. I can't even put up a voting proposal. So sad. It actually is quite sad. I definitely would have purchased enough voting power to at least have 200,000. Even on my marmaj.near accounts, I have like 160,000 voting power. And, it kind of sucks not to have enough. I know not to have enough voting power to actually. But I can comment, and you guys can comment too. So I would suggest, please, if you have things to say, if you agree or disagree. I don't think you can like comments, which I don't like actually. I hope they add the ability to like people's posts. A lot of times you might not have things to say, but you might be able to just upvote something and show that. I mean, we're all using our near accounts here, so there should be a way to like things. And there should be a way to show, the amount of voting power that's liking each thing. Eventually, I think these things are important to showing what the community is saying. But anyways, I will drop the main page. Ooh, you can't click that. Wow. Okay. There you go. I will drop this link here. Please feel free to comment if you have something to say, and hopefully in the future we'll see the ability to like. I think DevHub allows liking and stuff, and like sub commenting and stuff, which would be cool for just deeper discussion. Good there, good there. This is broken. Actually, I should send a screenshot as well to DA. He'll know what I'm talking about, but let's just do this. Closing up things as we go. I shared that link. So I can do actually, maybe we will do the Minsta. Wow. Maybe we will do the Minsta. I kind of said we wouldn't, and maybe people left. That's fine. We'll still do it today because I think this is fun. You guys got me excited. See, it's your guys' fault. Now you guys are gonna get bounties today. Oh, I love it. And the GIF, Nedlar, you're making my day. It makes the homepage so much more expressive. So again, spent a lot of time talking about Metapool. If anyone has any questions, I've talked about Metapool weekly for months now. Today I went in a little more detail with the MPIPs. Hopefully we'll start writing some MPIPs together once I get enough voting power. Once there's liquidity, hopefully soon. So over the next few weeks, I'm sure we'll be talking about the drafts, the comments, actually voting on those MPIPs. If you guys have voting power, you do not have to remove voting power from grants or validators to vote on MPIPs. So you can vote there both. So please take part in voting on the MPIPs, even if you don't comment on the MPIPs, and that should be fun. Talked about Ref, talked about Pikes Peak, talked about, I might try one more DCA because it's here and it was broken last week. So every hour, that's way too much. Every day from now, 0.19, do it 19 times. I'm broke, so I can't do it, but I can do it 10 times. Vault name by Marma J, custom fee, pricing strategy as long as we're at 0.75, because we're not at 0.75 yet. So basically what I'm saying is at 0.75 my grid goes out of so when my grid strategy goes out of bounds, I'm basically saying, okay, we'll start buying more Marma J, and then afterwards it'll probably, maybe it'll dip back down or whatever. Highest price 0.9, and I'm so sad, but it seems like we're still not working. I have all my information in, it's all look good, but I cannot create the vault. So we'll try again. We'll try again next time. I won't go over the project board. There's actually a lot to go over, but if you guys care about the Minsta board, feel free to look at it. I'll share the link. I know some of you might want to drop in and see what's being worked on. Some bugs. Yeah. Some things were fixed like today, yesterday. But yeah. So let's see. I was looking, I think last night was around here. I think I took this one and these ones. Looks like we need some turning of cameras, some original Cheez-Its. Okay, let's see here. First time in the never. My raid is full in a few hours. Congrats, Cayman. That's amazing. I love the tags. I don't think we can click other tags yet. No. Owner, Cayman is not near. Love to see it. And great job, I think Kwame. Getting that raid full. Love to see it. I haven't been able to join the raids. I have a bug with my... Ooh, that looks good. Is this the lemongrass tea? Jeez, what kind of biscuit is that too? Now I'm gonna go down. I have a peach and a nectar, or a peach, and a tangerine waiting for me, or a clementine. I'm excited to go check out. Let's see what else the community has been up to. Lots of art, lots of anime. Demon Slayer, I know. I don't know if I know the others, but let's see. I think this was me doing a test. Love to see the GIF story. Looks amazing. So, oh no. Okay, we gotta fix that. I need to be able to open. What is going on? Oh gosh. Prince. Oh gosh, I can't do both. I can't open the link in a new tab. That is blasphemy for UI. That is not allowed. I'm putting that to the top of the sprint backlog. That's not allowed. When right-clicking image moment, user should be able to open in new tab or any options, any proper options. That needs to go to the top. Sometimes I sneak things into the top of the sprint backlogs what the team's working on right now, and it's supposed to complete by July. They need to get completed. Actually, this is supposed to be for August. This is August stuff has been added as well. It seems like, but I'm like, no. I just, as the PM, I'm like, okay. Oatmeal cookie, nice. Looks delicious. I'm making me hungry. But anyway, that was Mika with me last night. Some tweets going up. Love to see it. We need more information about the NF, the moment on the UI, but okay, we're getting there. Love to see it. I want to click all of these, but now I know I have to scroll back each time. Homao Festival, the festival of the GAs, the GAs in Ghana. Hashtag festivals. What? So thanks for helping us find a bug. If you do hashtag, it breaks. It breaks everything, I guess. I don't know. Very weird. And I have to scroll all the way back down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do instead? I am going to go to your page so that I can just see what you've posted. Awesome. So playing a game. The festival looks really cool. I'm going to keep looking at that. More festivities. Ooh, another bug. Oh gosh, too many bugs. Okay, here, we're fine. I'll do this instead. We come from here. Okay, so then, see? This is it. When people, first of all, the generation is annoying. That'll be fixed very soon. The random generation shouldn't be there. It should be blank if you want to leave it blank. Also, the AI generation is so useful because it just takes more time. Like once you're used to AI generation for title and description, I never want to write another description myself ever again. I want the AI to get better at doing it, but I don't want to write descriptions for myself. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, after this, writing those descriptions and titles were frustrating, and hopefully it's fixed I hope it's fixed very soon, because we need some kind of story being told. Okay, but thank you very much for sharing. Let's see, we got the tea, lemongrass tea, and cornmeal cookie. Yummy breakfast. It does look yummy. Very sad that I can't cook the tea, but I can cook the food. Let's see what's come up so far. Not bad. That looks delicious too. My gosh, who's eating so good? Lorray. Okay. Whew. When are you cooking for me? Wow. Okay, so Lorray's eating good. Good to know. Glad to see it. Phone verification. Someone verified something. Ken Web3. Awesome. Cool. Successful application submission feedback. I love this. People are sharing whatever they like. AI art, go for it. Love to see it. Share everything and anything. Please keep using the tags. Hey there, Metapool, once again. We moved on a bit to Minsta discussions, and I'm going to end the stream very shortly. So if you're here on the stream and you made it this far, somehow, some way, please feel free to drop your Near account. If you're on the leaderboard, so drop your Near account. And if you're on this leaderboard for Minsta, okay, and maybe I'll give you like a few minutes to log in if you've never logged in before, and then post something you've never posted before. I'll give you like a few minutes. It's 12:32 my time, and I'm going to end the stream at 12:40. So that gives someone 8 minutes to log in for the first time. I'm logged out right now, so log in for the first time. They're actually having some login issues right now with Minsta. So if you can't log in, I'm sorry if there's a bug, but I'm going to try it. So if you see this, it's not working. So if you see login and you click login and it shows your account, that did not log you in. I'm sorry. It's a bug. The devs need to fix it. It needs to be fixed. And Claudio, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming on, and hope you enjoyed the stream. It was great talking about Metapool a bit more today, and it was great participating in the MPIP process a bit more, commenting. I do hope to write some more MPIPs shortly. Once I can get some voting power, that's the goal. So you got to sign out, log in. You do need to see the redirect. So you do need to go to the wallet. You do need to, and yeah, Y Broken is the account I've been using because it's been broken for me. When I log in with a Mint-based wallet, it should use my normal account. Yes. And hopefully this works for me here. We went through this last week, the bugs. By the end of the week, it should be fixed, and I will stream later on in the week. So Lorray.near, Claudia.near, I do see the links. So again, if you're on the leaderboard, I will send you some Marma J so you can keep testing. Maybe you might want to save the Marma J for now until there's some liquidity so you can get some MP DAO, or you can get some ST Near and hold that for a bit and earn some validator rewards while you wait. But I did see Claudia, so let's get that done. And honestly, I would love to start giving out MP. So I'm probably going to switch to giving out MP DAO in these calls once it's available. I know I was giving out Meta previously, and I'll start giving out MP DAO again. Oops. To Claudia near. That's not correct. Claudia Copy. No, is it? Now I gotta read it again. Oh, it is. You have Claudia.near. That's awesome. I feel like you have a lot of accounts. Continue accounting. Wait, that's not. Yeah, it's Claudia Copy. I was about to say, this isn't your account. And that's why I like Meteor Wallet. It makes it easy for me to tell. I was like, that's not your account. I remember back in the day when I first got the Chloe.near account, I felt bad because I worked at Near and I was like, I don't want to take the account. So I left it for like 3 weeks or a month or something like that. There you go. Thank you, Claudia, for being here and support. Thank you for posting on Minsta as well. Love to see your lemongrass tea and your cornmeal cookie. We also have Leray.near. Again, I think a lot of you guys, I've seen your posts recently. Let's go to let's just listen to it. So 0.819. We're gonna send it out to Metapool. Leray.near. You got a pretty short name though, Leray. 5 letters? Good job. Love to see it. Yeah, no worries, Clara. Typing it wrong. Amazing. 5 letters. I think Chloe was my shortest with 5 letters too. I have Chloe. I have Marma J, which also 5 letters. I don't have any 4-letter domains on near. Leray.near 0.819. Sorry, I'm always just checking to make sure I don't send like 0.8.19 to somebody. It's gonna happen one day, and when it does happen, you're welcome. Enjoy. You've been overthrown. Yes, Nedlar. You can't stay in first forever like that. King of Kings page is coming for you. Oh gosh. So we got Leray, we got Kladakopi, Batalis. Okay. Marma J. Beauty. And again, having the near social profile makes it easier too. You can see your current balance. Check you guys out on Parks Peak. I'm definitely gonna start doing like a special. Maybe I'll do like meta MP DAO tokens to like people who are first in the leaderboard or my favorite posts of the week. It's definitely not gonna keep being everyone. Just so you guys are aware. Probably once August is over, I'll probably stop doing everyone who comes to the stream. I'll probably just start picking out of the stream. Like there's been some really cool ones. So like Nedlar, your GIF post for the week was super cool. Honestly, I really liked the lemongrass and cookie. The festival, definitely, I love seeing like the real world where someone is and like what they want to celebrate, the moments they want to share. So those are probably like the types of ones that would get the extra MP DAO tokens, for example, or just extra Marma J for what they've shared throughout the week. It's kind of like the biggest moments. But we are adding likes to the platform, so you'll be able to like posts. And I kind of wanted to wait to change things until we can just do like the hottest picks of the week. So like the picture with the most likes in the week will get the biggest bounty if they're here on the stream. Who was next? I think I just did Batalis. Then we have Michelina near 0.819. I can't spell that. Sorry, my spelling is not the best, but in my address book. So Sand. Then we have Ken-Web3.near. I could probably spell that. Ooh, Marma J went up a little bit. So yeah, I think near must have went up a little bit. Ken-Web3.near. So thank you everyone for coming out to the stream. This was an insanely long one. I definitely don't try and make them this long. I definitely try and keep them to an hour. Ken-Web3, account exists, 1.3. I definitely try and keep them to an hour. But it was MPIP days will definitely be a bit longer. So thank you everyone. I think that was everyone. If I missed you in the rewards, please let me know. There's one more minute of the stream, so let me know. But thank you everyone for coming out. I will stream again this week, God's willing, about Minsta specifically. There's a lot of bugs that need to be, and I can go through the flow once now. Well, that won't work. So first of all, we shouldn't have to generate if there's no connection currently. So that'll be fixed by the end of the week. Honestly, Claudio, very happy to share my 2 cents, and I'm very excited to be writing some MPIPs. I definitely enjoy my voice being heard and writing them with the community. So if you're here watching, listening, I do stream weekly. And I would love your guys' comments as I write the MPIP. So I won't be writing them live like I did today for the comments. I'll have drafts written and I'll share the document links in the comments here. And I'm definitely looking for comments from the community before I submit the MPIPs. And that'll be probably something I do on a weekly, monthly basis, checking on the comments, editing the proposals. I would love to submit like one a month. I mean, there's so much improvement to be had. And I think there's just things ways to grow the community for Metapool. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for bearing with us. Thank you for waiting 2.5 hours, some of you. Thank you, Clara, for bearing with my constant changes. But I think now I'll try and do a few days notice. I probably can't give a week's notice yet. Probably a bit much, but I'll try every Sunday to say when I'm going to be streaming. It probably won't be Mondays anymore. I'm probably going to try and do Tuesday mornings. Mondays I'm going to try and keep for just doing many other things that I usually do on Mondays. But yeah, so that's about it for me. I'll stream again this week. Oh yeah, I'll be streaming cello playing probably maybe today to test things out. Yeah. So I might do that. Completely different than this, but the reason I'm streaming on Chloe the Dev Unfiltered is because it's kind of just Chloe the Dev Unfiltered. Not necessarily crypto stuff, not necessarily anything else, education, just me sharing things. So hope you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy, and I'm going to go walk the dog and practice some cello. So toodles all. Bye.